around this window. You can see that it's been pretty perfect for Uruguay so far. 3-0 right now. Cuba 0-3 at the bottom. Uruguay with a win tonight would sit them atop Group D in these rankings. And these two teams haven't seen each other in 26 years. The last meeting, 1999, FIBA America's Championship. And let's start with Uruguay. The Charruas are 3-0 in the first round here. Wins over Panama twice and a defensive clinic against Argentina, holding them to just 44 points. They've held opponents under 82 in 3 straight, rebounding at a high level and moving the ball, 20-plus assists in 2 of their last 3 games. Led by veterans like Bruno Fittipaldo and a surging Joaquin Rodriguez, they're playing with confidence, rhythm, and defensive edge under head coach Gerardo Jauregui. And now Cuba, a proud program, Olympic bronze in 1972, 4th at the 1974 World Championship, the only Caribbean nation ever to medal globally. But this window has been a little turbulent. Losses to Argentina twice and a tight 3-point game against Panama. The offense has been inconsistent, but Pedro Bombino and Marcus Chacon have emerged as double-figure threats, and the rebounding numbers have held steady. This is a young roster, physical, long, trying to establish identity. Momentum in this series favors Uruguay, but the history favors Cuba. Last meeting in 1999, Uruguay won by 3, 87-84. Before that, Cuba controlled the matchup during the 80s and 90s peak. Tonight, it's about who owns the modern chapter. Game day 4 decides which storyline moves forward. And now we will step aside for the national anthems, starting with the visitors in Uruguay. For the home team, Cuba.
Invitamos a los equipos al saludo protocolario, intercambio de balones y calentamiento.
So the power rankings between these two teams, when you take a look at Uruguay, they had a strong opportunity to build on an excellent start, and then they did just that. They had to visit Argentina, who was actually the group favorite, and came away with a pretty convincing win, and it was a defensive game too. 61-44 was the final score of that game. So the timing really has worked in Uruguay's favor. And this team is riding momentum after a solid AmeriCup campaign and a positive first window, so confidence is really high for them. A neutral game here tonight after the Cuban Federation had announced it does not currently meet the conditions required to host games, so clearly this benefits Uruguay by avoiding what could have been a hostile road environment. As you check out our referees for tonight's game, they've been doing a great job this entire America's qualifiers for the World Cup. And we'll check out the starting lineups. First, starting with Uruguay, pretty similar to what we've seen so far. Joaquin Rodriguez, the captain in number 14 for Uruguay, and he started off his America's qualifier strong for the World Cup. 19 points per game, averaging just over 27 minutes per game as well. He has been fantastic to watch and is their leading scorer as a team and their head coach, Gerardo Jauri, in his 7th season for Uruguay, a longtime domestic architect of success for them. Led Defensor Sporting from 2002 to 2017, one of the longest coaching tenures in Uruguayan basketball history. Also, I believe he played as well in Uruguay if you go back long enough, but he coached Uruguay's national team from 2008 to 2012 and then reappointed in 2023. And there's the starting lineup for Cuba. Of course, Reynaldo Garcia, their captain, in the starting lineup as well. He is their 3rd leading scorer, just behind Marcos Chacon, who's also in that starting lineup, and Pedro Bombino, the center, who's also getting the start. And here's Onel Planas, who took over as head coach for this window with nearly 30 years of experience across men's and women's basketball, including youth national teams and multiple medals in Cuba's Liga Superior. And he's emphasized raising Cuba's competitiveness internationally and changing the face of the program in tournaments, both at home and abroad. And he's got a pretty defensive-driven philosophy as well. He prioritizes half-court defense, transition offense, physical preparation, especially lower body strength, and psychological readiness as well, working to integrate international-based Cuban players from Japan, Spain, Israel, and Germany, despite ongoing logistical and roster challenges outside of the team's control. We all know about those. And so now an opportunity for Uruguay to go perfect through the first 2 rounds as we count down to tip-off here. And Cuba's situation has become critical here in the FIBA World Cup America's qualifiers. Their scheduled home window is instead being played here in Panama due to hosting requirements not being met, and without home court support, matchups for them have seemingly become a little bit more difficult. So they're going to try to do all they can. Cuba has actually won 4 of the last 7 documented matchups between 1980 and 1997. But the most recent one won by Cuba. Most high-scoring affair between these two sides. It was in the Olympic qualifiers in 1984, 95 to 88. Highest 2 combined scores of the meetings here for a major qualifying event. So Cuba has averaged 95+ points in 3 of their last 4 wins against Uruguay. So now these teams will meet at center court and get ready to go. And we're set here. At center court, starting us off, will be the center, Pedro Bombino for Cuba, or make that. Yeah, we'll see Bombino and Emiliano Ceres at center court to get things going for the final game here. And almost a bucket immediately, and we have a foul as we welcome you all into Cuba and Uruguay from Panama City at Arena Roberto Duran. Cuba and Uruguay in Group D. Finishing off the first round here is we had an immediate foul as the game started. Hechevarria gets called for Cuba's first team foul within the first 4 seconds of this ball game, and we already have points on the board for Uruguay. Uruguay won 3 of the 7 documented meetings between these two teams, including the most recent, but that was back in 1999. Uruguay 3-0, Cuba 0-3, and it's a 2-0 game early. Uruguay, their history goes back to 1936 with FIBA, an immediate turnover by Cuba. Cuba trying to do a better job of renewing their program under new coach tutelage. There's a catch and shoot just off the mark for Uruguay, and now Rodriguez on the reload will hit the 3. Just like that, Uruguay out to a 5-0 run early, and Rodriguez has scored all of them, and Cuba will get one right back. Marcos Chacon. So now a minute into play, 7 points have already been scored. That one thrown into the corner, now back up top. Rodriguez, near side, catch and shoot. And that's one thing you're going to see a lot from Uruguay, is they are going to let it fly. They shoot 43.5% from 2-point range and 36% from 3-point range. That's one of the best in Group D. And Rodriguez, you can see that there. A little bit upset that one of the officials didn't call it, one of them did, but pretty obvious. He got himself in the air there. Now a minute and 20 into this game. Near side, Chacon. From the left wing. That one off the mark. And Uruguay doing their best to slow it down. That's one thing Uruguay always does, is they're going to play at their own pace. Last time they played Cuba, they beat them narrowly 87-84. That's a deep one off the front side of the basket. Rebound Bombino. Up top, Bombino. Off the mark on that one. Cuba 0 for 2 from beyond the arc so far in this ball game. This one, a bullet over to the near side. Iglesias gets to his midi. Offensive foul.
Hay una falta ofensiva sobre el número 1, el capitán de Cuba, Reinaldo García, su primera.
So you see the foul there. Garcia on the drive. Caught a man in the face. Vescovi on the other side, on the wrong end of that one. Garcia gets called for his first foul in this ball game. It's a 3-point lead for Uruguay. Now coming to a stop is Vescovi. Underneath, and an easy layup for Matteo Bianchi. Uruguay a 5-point lead. Near side, it's the big man working, and he'll splash that one in. Looked easy for Pedro Bombino, the 25-year-old center for Cuba. Cuba so far 0-2 technically at home, 0-1 away. Good ball movement, outside, there's a hit. Emiliano Ceres. And just like that, Uruguay, 40% from three-point range so far. Cuba has tried a couple, hasn't seemed to make one yet. They are 2 for 4 from the field, shooting 50%. 6-point lead for Uruguay. From the top, it's Garcia. Goes left, now Bombino, getting downhill, spins into the lane, couldn't get it to fall off the window, rebound Chacon. Back outside, Garcia 3, oh yeah! Good ball movement there by Cuba. Great possession for them, using up most of the shot clock and had 5 different passes on that possession. Gotta be sure that Coach Anel Planis is happy with that one. A no-look pass tried. Bombino ahead of the pack. And now Cuba lost it. Echevarria mishandled that one underneath the cup. 2 team fouls on Cuba as we're 4.5 minutes into this first quarter. And there's a block from behind. Garcia, the point guard, got up there. Now a try inside, back to the right, 3. Cuba 1 for 4 from 3-point range in this ball game. This one off of Echevarria last. And it looks like he's gonna need to check out. Reynaldo Garcia, the captain for Cuba, and the captain for Uruguay in this ball game is Joaquin Rodriguez. Ariel Ferran will check in. Underneath, fast break, layup for Cuba. So Ferran checks in and immediately gets a shot to fall. That's a good sign for Cuba, trailing by 1 here as we're halfway through the first quarter. Getting downhill, there's Ceres, got it back, and he got a whistle. So you see there, Chacon gets called for the foul, a little too much body contact. And now Ceres will be at the line. Had 14 points on over 80% shooting from 3 in their most recent win against Argentina just a couple of nights ago. And put those few shots in. It's Chacon with the drive down the left side, hung in the air for a sec, and the rebound by Rodriguez. Bounce pass down low, it ricocheted off of someone from Cuba. Uruguay gets it right back. They're gonna sag way off from up top and run the defense. They're playing in man right now, and Ceres back up top. Pump fake outside by Vescovi. Now bounce pass down low, and the finish shot by Martin Rojas. So Rojas gets his first field goal of this ball game. Uruguay back up by 5. Garcia, left side, Euro step, left corner. And he said, almost give me that. Rodriguez, a great defensive possession for Uruguay. No passes involved there from Ferran. And now Vescovi on the near side. He'll get a screen. Thought about it. And a foul going towards that left block there. Ferran picks up his first personal foul. As Vescovi fell down there. Uruguay now is in the bonus for the final 3.5 minutes of this first quarter. Nicola Pomoli will check it in from the left side. And now they'll run their offense with 14 seconds to go. And Pomoli walked all the way from Uruguay on that one. A turnover by the away team. That's their third of this ball game. Both teams with 3 turnovers so far. As we have our first timeout taken by Cuba, who's trailing by 5. Uruguay is led by as much as 6 so far in this one. Let's see if we can listen in. We can.
No estamos jugando a nada aquí. Entonces, mira, exactamente, no te desesperes, ya metiste una canasta y lo mismo tú eres fuerte triple que contraataque. Participa en los contraataques y vamos a jugar con 4 y con 3. El 1, mira, con pantalla calorada cae el 4 o jugamos 3 para que caiga Bombino, caiga Marlo. No hemos hecho ni juego interior ni nada, no estamos jugando nada a la ofensiva. Y tenemos un solo contraataque.
Pásame una toalla ahí, por favor, está bien.
Respiren, rectifiquen y vamos a nuestro juego, porque nos fuimos a nuestro juego. Estamos ahí, el partido está ahí. ¿Cuál es el problema que hay, caballero? Confianza, vamos allá. Confianza.
As you could hear, the head coach, Anel Planes, saying back in his first season as the head coach of the national team of Cuba, imploring his team to play defense. And that's really what his philosophy is. It's a defensively driven philosophy. They prioritize half-court defense, transition offense, physical preparation, especially lower body strength and psychological readiness. And we have ourselves a backcourt violation. Diaz not happy about that one. Sosa Reyes starting things off, and now from the right side, they'll get it back to Soares. Looks like he might have a mismatch on the far side. Gets the right block, knocked away. Great defensive possession there by Cuba. Ball is loose. It's brought down and put in by Pomoli. Sometimes that's just how the ball's gonna bounce, and it bounced against Cuba on that possession. Chacon back up top. Reynaldo Garcia got it into the big man, and he'll spin into the lane and clean it up himself. How about Pedro Bombino? So Bombino now with 4 points and 3 rebounds, trying to get his team back in this game. Trailing by 5, under 3 to play in the first. From the near side, it goes back up top. Vescovi back outside. A long 3. Cuba's running. Right side. Glass no good by Chacon. And it goes out last off of Uruguay, so Cuba will have a chance to run an inbound play here. This is what Coach Anel Planes was telling us about, is they're working to integrate internationally based Cuban players, like from Japan, Spain, Israel, Germany, guys that have played all over the place, despite ongoing logistical and roster changes outside of the team's control. Now up top, here's Chacon. He was gonna get a screen from both sides, no matter which way he rolled there. Chacon, bullet in, ball's loose, on the floor. Garcia's got it, 2 seconds to huck it up, and it's off the backside of the rim. Another opportunity by Bombino, had it knocked away. Cuba shooting 33% from the field, and underneath, an easy one for Uruguay. Martin Rojas. And our first foul in this quarter now coming on Uruguay on the other side. Crazy that's just their first team foul. They've been playing pretty solid and consistent defense without fouling. $1:41 to go in the first, and it's a 7-point game. So for Cuba, it's Garcia, Zuniga, Ferran, Bombino, and Diaz. And now here's Garcia on the far side. Bombino, the floater, and he gets it to fall, and the foul. The 25-year-old, 6 points, and a chance at one more. Bombino also 4 rebounds in this ball game as well. And he converts on the 3-point play. And it definitely seems like he is their emotional leader of this team as well. Echevarria is back in, as you'll see Cuba play full court defense here. They try to trap on the sides. This one hucked up to the other side of the floor. Now a 2-on-1 and an easy one. And the foul for Uruguay. So that's the price you pay. The full court press is like a sellout for Cuba, and that time Uruguay walks away with a bucket. Pedro Bombino gets called for his first personal foul of this ball game. Pomoli left it off the front side of the bucket. Rebound by Zuniga. Zuniga near side, had it tapped away, so it's still good to go. He's gonna get a screen on the left. Boy, Uruguay is just playing tough defense so far, as this one is let fly from the outside. Zuniga trying the putback there, unable to get it to fall. Final minute of the first quarter as this one bounces out off of Cuba last. Zuniga, though, this young 19-year-old kid coming in here, played in the 2025 pre-qualifiers for Cuba. Did not play in their last game, though, of this window. Has played in one game so far. Just only a couple of minutes at 19 years of age here on the national stage. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Uruguay. And the officials clearly letting them play. Pomoli in and out. Outlast by Cuba. Echevarria trying to plead his case. And Uruguay with Pomoli, Capalbo, Gomez, Martinez, and Rojas in there at the end of the quarter. Martinez, also a young guy for Uruguay as well, right there with the ball in his hands. He's 22 years old. There's Martinez, 22 years of age, playing for Malvin, the club in Uruguay, in the Liga Sudamericana. 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock as this first quarter is winding down. Cuba still very much in this ball game. through this first quarter haven't let Uruguay get off on their run. Zuniga breaking a man off and then fouled out beyond the arc. A mistake there by Uruguay at the end of the first quarter could give Cuba some momentum going into the second. Rojas's first foul of this first quarter. 12.8 seconds to go here in the first, and the first free throw is good by Chacon. So Chacon averaging 18 points per game for Cuba here in the qualifiers for the World Cup in the Americas. His 18 points per game, excuse me, are the most on this team. And he averaged 8.3 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.2 assists across multiple qualifying cycles since 2021 for Cuba. In his 5th year playing for the national team. But he did play key roles in that 2023 Olympic qualifying tournament, pre-qualifying tournament. He averaged 8 points per game and 5.5 rebounds. Final 10 seconds here of this first quarter. This one inside, that was a bullet in to Martinez. He just couldn't convert it. 2-on-1 with 2 seconds left. The lob up off the backboard. It's no good. And Cuba hanging on with Uruguay here through the first quarter of action. 20-17, a 3-point lead for the away team in white. And by all measures, you know, Cuba, while they might be on the bottom of Group D so far, they've been playing well, especially against Argentina and Panama. As you check out some of the numbers here, both teams not shooting very well from beyond the arc, but Uruguay clearly making a few more of the 2-pointers that they're taking. They haven't taken as many as Cuba yet. And let's check out our best plays from that first quarter. And it started off with a 3 from Uruguay, as they were only able to make 2 threes so far, but like I just said, it's the inside-out game that's been working so well for them. Bombino has been the bright spot for Cuba so far. 7 points, 4 rebounds. Somehow through just the first quarter, he's on double-double watch. That's incredible. I think the one thing that really has been working in Uruguay's favor, though, is that they've been sharing the ball. 6 assists on 7 made buckets. That's been the story for Uruguay so far. And the inside-out game has been working for them as well. Bombino, a huge bright spot with his 206-centimeter, 6'9" frame, able to finish through contact at the rim, and Uruguay was just getting downhill as much as they could. Scan the Courtside 1891 app at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It will take you to the app or even the website, where you can view all of the World Cup qualifiers from all around the world, as well as extended highlights of FIBA competitions as well. Second quarter of action underway now. We played through our first 10 minutes and now some change of this ball game. Cuba trailing by 3, and a foul on the floor immediately going against Uruguay. That is their first team foul of this second quarter. And if you remember, Uruguay didn't get a foul on the team until about 5 minutes into that first quarter. So already an early one here, as this one goes up top to Garcia. They'll look for guarding him way out beyond the arc. He's a sharpshooter from 3-point distance. As that one gets batted all the way to the other side, and unfortunately, a turnover there for Cuba. That's the 6th turnover of the game for Cuba in this one through just 10.5 minutes of gameplay. On the wraparound, Rodriguez picks up his dribble. Now they give it right back to him. 6 seconds to go. He'll step back off the left side of the bucket. They're shooting 20% from 3, and now an easy 2 for Marlon Diaz, the 27-year-old. He scored in double figures in 2 of Cuba's last 3 games now. And he gets his first shot there. By the way, Cuba only trailing by 1 here in this second quarter. Uruguay, who is currently in 2nd place in Group D, if they win, would be the #1 team, as they would be undefeated in Group D. Catch and shoot near side. It was short. A rebound tried. Who's going to get it? It's still loose. And a foul called on the floor. Reynaldo Garcia for Cuba gets called for a foul there. First team foul on Cuba. That's the 2nd personal on Garcia, the captain for Cuba. He's averaging 30 minutes per game, so he'll be on the floor a lot. That one's an air ball, and maybe we'll just call it a pass. Santiago Vescovi caught it in the air and put it up backwards. That was awesome. 4-point game, or 3-point game, excuse me, in favor of Uruguay. Rodriguez gets called for his first personal here. Uruguay with their 2nd team foul on the far side. It's Garcia. Now up top, Chacon driving in. Bounce pass. Foul. No, it was a travel. That time by Diaz. That's the 7th turnover of this game for Cuba. From the far side, here's a baseline take. They bounce it in. And we had a push. That's going to go on Marlon Diaz. His first personal foul. Cuba's 2nd team. From the right wing, drive inside. Now Pomoli lighting it up. Pomoli averaging 8.7 points per game. Hitting that 3, he's got 7 points now, and we've got a foul on the far side. And now we have a scuffle on the floor. Diaz trying to break it up. Some of his guys are getting in the face of Uruguay, and our officials doing their best to step in the middle. This could get chippy going down the stretch. Garcia for Cuba involved in the mix. Bombino has been a little chippy down in front, but clearly trying to advocate for their teammates. And as long as nothing boils over, you'll love to see the emotion between these 2 teams going head-to-head against each other, as they really have not had too many documented playing each other since the 90s. So fun opportunity here for both of these teams to showcase what they are and what they want to become, not just to each other, but to the rest of the world. So there was a foul on the floor, and they'll go to the monitor to see if there was an unsportsmanlike conduct foul that should be assessed next. So let's check out the replay here. It was Garcia up top, the reach in originally by Rodriguez. The ball came loose. Rodriguez and Garcia were going for it, and I think Garcia took exception to Rodriguez as he was trying to go for the ball there. You could see immediately Onel Planes out there with his team, the head coach for Cuba. Likes how hard his guys are trying to play right now, and it might have been that Rodriguez was over Garcia there, and Diaz, by the way, did a great job of breaking it up immediately, and he stepped right in front of his guy to make sure nothing else happened even more. Something to keep an eye on, though, the rest of this game. It's not like these sort of things just don't go away. Something very interesting to keep your eye on. Garcia and now Rodriguez. So obviously a foul there assessed to Rodriguez. That makes sense. Now, should there be an unsportsmanlike foul? This is why I am not a ref, because at least to me that didn't look like much, but I don't want to guess about anything. And it could just be a play on. So we have our unsportsmanlike conducts assessed. And that should just be offsetting penalties with the foul. Means a side out for Cuba there on the far side. And I believe that's what they called in a 6-point game here with 7:37 to go. So here's the foul by Rodriguez as he's on top of Garcia there. Now they get assessed for unsportsmanlike conduct, personal or technical fouls. Actually, it's Chacon for Cuba who gets called for the technical, and Pomoli for Uruguay. So two guys that weren't even actually involved in the play. And that one thrown to Casper the Ghost, and it's going back the other direction. So now they play on. The bounce pass up top. Now time for Pomoli. He'll slow it down from the far side, and it was cut off. Garcia with the steal and score. Garcia makes it a 4-point game. He's got 5 points for himself. Under 7 to go here in the first half. Dancing is Rodriguez, back out near side. Vescovi will line it up. Couldn't get it to go. Bombino getting the rebound and then now running it onto the other side of the floor. Not often do you see a big man like that take it to the other side. He'll get this one. Back out, and the bucket will fall. Marlon Diaz, who's averaging 30 minutes per game and 9 points per game, hitting that mid-range jumper, and Uruguay is going to need a timeout. Cuba has brought the lead of Uruguay down to 2 with 6.5 to go here in the second quarter. So Cuba on a little bit of a run. They trailed by as much as 7, but has never really let Uruguay get too far away. Let's listen into the huddle.
En defensa, más allá de un tiro guarda o los errores nuestros, lo que tenemos que dar un paso adelante es la generación. En el estacionado no estamos generando, ¿Ah? La ejecución nos cuesta, estamos muy pendientes, ellos se acomodan. Vamos a tratar de trabajar más en llegar jugando, a ver si sorprendemos más. Toque más la bola. 5 pueden jugar 2, con movilidad, pueden jugar, cuerno abajo, pase, Emi, va por Martín, ¿no? Tranquilo, dijimos que el partido va a ser largo. Es largo, pero vamos a ir mejorando estas cosas. Dale, la próxima, hagan cuerno abajo.
One thing I should note also is that Cuba has only gotten 2 points from their bench. Their starters have combined for 21 of those 23 points. Meanwhile, Uruguay has gotten 11 points from their bench, and now they'll get things going. 6:21 to go in the second quarter. Uruguay by 2. Rodriguez trying to find a direction to go. Good defense here by Cuba. He might get through the traffic, and he does. The layup comes from the right. Joaquin Rodriguez, and now a turnover by Garcia, and he's begging them to go to the monitor on that one. So Reynaldo Garcia, the captain, turned it over there. Clearly not happy about that call, and looks like both of these teams are in the bonus now for the final 6 minutes of this second quarter. And we have an official challenge here by Cuba in a 4-point game. Actually, probably a good time to take it. Garcia was very adamant about this one. So here he comes in. Ball gets slapped out. Ooh, that was a close one. Maybe this view tells us a little bit more. Vescovi coming after him. He knocks the ball loose. Now, does it hit the leg of Garcia before it goes out of bounds? Garcia seems to think otherwise, as he was shaking his fingers immediately and asked to go to the screen. So here he comes to get the inbound pass from Bombino. Here's the slap from Vescovi. Now, does that hit one of Garcia's legs? On the way down to the floor there. Here it comes. From that angle, it might look like it hits off his right thigh. But there has to be conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the floor, which was for Uruguay. And there was not conclusive evidence. So the challenge is unsuccessful by Cuba. So it'll stay Uruguay ball as we've now played through 4 minutes of this second quarter. 14 minutes into the game. As we have a man serving. And too many seconds to inbound it for Uruguay, so they turn it over right back. And you could hear someone from Cuba saying, "Ball don't lie." Cuba used their coach's challenge early here. Now they do not have one left. Into the first half of this ball game. Chacon near side. They survey from Diaz and now try to get it to Bombino. Bombino imploring his teammates to be smart there. So you saw Diaz there, as Bombino was saying, yo, Pomoli was all over me. So both teams are in the bonus, so a lot of free throws coming if this game keeps its physical pace, as the first one is missed by Bombino. Bombino with 7 points so far and 6 rebounds, averaging 15.5 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, shooting 60% from 2-point range. Was 5 of 8 last game, actually, against Panama. That was just a close one where Cuba just didn't have enough in the final seconds as they were taken down by Panama, 84-81. That was the closest game Cuba played. And it doesn't get much easier for Cuba going forward. They have to go on the road for the final 2 games of the qualifiers for the World Cup here in the first round. It's a 3-point game, so still anybody's ball game. It's just nobody's been able to have momentum based on how physical this game is. Nice switchback dribble there by Rodriguez, who puts it in. He seems to be the only one who's been able to score here in the last 2 minutes. Rodriguez now with 9 points in this ball game. He's averaging 19 points per game, has scored 20 or more in 2 of the last 3 games. Lining it up is Chacon. A cherry pick down the floor. Actually was a little bit too far for Rodriguez. As Garcia hauls in that rebound. It's still a 5-point game. Garcia inside, left it short. Here's the pass up the floor, and that one was a beautiful pass up the floor to Rodriguez. Rodriguez now in double figures in 4 straight games. Vescovi gets his 4th assist. I don't even know how Vescovi fed that one in there. And Cuba needs to take a timeout with 4.5 minutes to go, as Uruguay now has a 7-point lead. This is their biggest lead of this ball game, and we'll listen in.
Ustedes son los que están complicando el partido, hermano. Quiten esa cara y vamos a salir a pelear. Que el partido está ahí todavía. Vamos a jugar puño ahora, puño.
.419 to go here in the second quarter of this ball game. A game that has been led by Uruguay this entire time. And again, Cuba only still with those 2 bench points. They put up 7 points here in the second quarter so far. Garcia trips and falls, lost the ball. Crafty dribble now coming on the near side by Toboada. Back out to the right wing. It's a wide open 3. That one won't spin in. Ball's touched. And now they'll try this one again. So Vescovi from the right. Now up top, Rodriguez. Under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Chacon, near side. Underneath, Bombino had that one taken away by Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to push the floor. He goes down the lane, floats it. It goes off to the right. A cherry pick on the other side. Bombino with the throwdown. And he immediately looks at the official there. As Vescovi passes that one into traffic. It's Bombino on the other side, and 2 in a row. Bombino coming up big, figuratively and literally. For Cuba, Uruguay needs a timeout. It's a 12-point lead, or excuse me, a 12-point game for Bombino. 3-point lead for Uruguay as we'll listen into their timeout with 3:17 to go.
Errores. Hay un momento que vamos a tener que decir, nos la metemos, defendemos, nos la metemos, defendemos. ¿Ah? No abrirles la cancha. ¿Cómo se sienten cómodos ellos? Dominan el rebote. Malo tiro, contraataque, contraataque. Entonces, tratemos de encontrar la dinámica, de encontrar una ventaja. Los tiros solos los vamos a empezar a meter. Confianza, los vamos a empezar a meter. Pero tenemos que en la dinámica tratar de llegar a la pintura y sacar.
The big man, Bombino, on the last 2 possessions, able to throw a couple of them down, and he's been the big reason why Cuba is still in this ball game. And the only real test for Uruguay so far has been Panama, who they pretty much destroyed the first time they played them, but then the second time, it was 84-82, and that's the closest game they would have had. Argentina, who was favored to win this group, ended up being down by Uruguay, 61-44. So a huge sign here for Cuba, who's able to stay in this ball game, and it's just a 3-point deficit for the home team. Soares from the far side, dribbling in with his left hand, goes cross court. Vescovi with the drive inside, puts it up with the left. Got his own rebound, missed the second one. Cuba with an opportunity here. Down the lane, Garcia, back outside, towing the line. Splash! Tie ball game! Diaz from straight away. And they'll actually rule it a 2. It was a long 2 with a foot on the line. Now near side, Vescovi couldn't get that one to fall. Another opportunity, Taboada. And instead they do rule it a 3. Okay, so it was a 3. And the and one on the other side. A 3-point old-fashioned way for Uruguay and a chance at one more. So Cuba's shot from Diaz on the other side, I called it a 3. It was originally ruled a 2, then it was actually a 3. And now Uruguay up by 2 and a chance at one more with the foul coming on the other side. Both of these teams have been in the bonus, though, since 6 minutes and some change here in this second quarter. Meanwhile, they've kind of been electing to take more outside shots besides Bombino just getting straight lanes inside. Cuba actually shooting better in the ballgame so far. 44% from the field. Uruguay is 38%, but are shooting 80% from the free throw line. 5 for 6 now as a team. As Soares converts on the 3-point play. Echeverria, left side was a little bit high. Now the drive, baseline, pump fake, nowhere to go, back outside, shot clock violation. Great defense by Uruguay. $1:50 to go here in the second quarter. Uruguay a 3-point lead. They get this one and go baseline. Now near side, Sorez with the drive in and kept everyone away from him as he scooped and scored. The team in white back up by 5. A drive down the lane and the lefty off the glass. Chacon with the 2 points there. He's got 7 in the ball game. And 4 rebounds and 3 assists. A deep one off the front side of the bucket there by Uruguay. And did we get a foul going back the other way there? We did. So that foul goes against Joaquin Taboada. That's Taboada's first personal foul, but we are in the bonus. And that's going to keep Cuba around, only trailing by 3. Aldo Castel misses the first free throw for Cuba. They're now 5 for 8 from the free throw line as a team, shooting under 70% in this ball game. Misses both of them, and it was touched last by Uruguay. A nice opportunity there for them to try to get a rebound, but both of those free throws don't go down. And that's when you need those shots to fall if you want to be in a game like this against one of the best in the group. Chacon slowing it down. Left side pump fake by Garcia, now floats it up, and it's off the backside of the rim. 2 for 1 here for Uruguay as they slow it down. Inside, a foul. Sorez going to the line.
Hay cambios por el equipo de Cuba. Ingresa con el número 20, Ariel Ferran.
So we have stoppage of action here. First free throw goes in there for Sorez. As that one doesn't go in, and 4-point game, big rebound there by Cuba. As this one comes to the near side. Castel guarded way out beyond the arc by Terra. Now Chacon driving off to the right side. 3, yes sir! It's a 1-point game. 3 seconds to go. Was there a turnover by Uruguay there or a foul? Looks like everyone's coming back this direction, so Cuba gets it right back.
37 para Uruguay, 36 para Cuba, 2 segundos. Resta este segundo cuarto.
There's the inbound. 2 seconds left to go. There was a block, a huck down the end of the floor, and at the half, it's a 1-point game between the top team and the bottom team of Group D, but there doesn't seem to be much disparity with both of them tonight. So we finish off the second quarter in a 1-point game. Uruguay with the lead over Cuba, 37-36. Wow, that was mighty close. And so we actually have some news for you with Argentina beating Panama. Uruguay has now qualified for the second round as we take a look at our top scorers here. 2 in double figures for Uruguay, and Soares and Rodriguez. Bombino, the only one in double figures for Cuba. But Bombino is our leading scorer of the ballgame as we check out our best plays from that second quarter. Second quarter got a little mucky there for a second. It wasn't the cleanest by any means. Cuba has now turned the ball over 11 times here in this ball game, but they were able to win that second quarter 19-17, and it was on the back of Garcia there. Diaz also had some great plays in that second quarter, hitting a couple long 2s and a 3. Diaz so far with 7 points and a rebound, but has 3 fouls, so we might not have seen him as much as we could have wanted. And on the other side, it's the attack by Rodriguez that has been keeping Cuba on their heels. He's kept them very off balance, and those fast breaks have been great for Uruguay as well. We got 8 fast break points so far in this ball game. They led by as much as 7, but Bombino is so hard to stop. And good job there by everyone making business decisions, not getting in front of him. And just when he's downhill, let him have his space. Cuba did a nice job in that second quarter of hitting some much needed shots. They're shooting 45% from the field, 50% from 2, and now 33% from beyond the arc. 3 for 9 in this ball game now. It's 37-36. Uruguay from Panama City at the half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
They're in for a showdown here tonight. Let's get this party started. Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown. Goes in for the dunk. Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good. Bogdanovic, who goes in and scores. Ah! This is what it's all about. It's all one big basketball family, folks. Winning time. Both teams over the limit. You have got to be kidding me! Jorginho. Yeah, this is going up. Steps back for 3. He's got it. And that just adds insult right there. Takes the lead up to 15 points at halftime. Ortiz back into the ball game, and that's much better. Romero rocking the rims in San Juan. Free, eventually find Miller. He got a pretty good look, and Miller makes it. Incredible shot for Franco Miller. Will that seal the game? It's a 6-point lead now.
Oh, Jones just leaked out. Oh, that one. Atencia with the 2, just stayed with the play.
Now he's going to get some space. Odish all the way, glides in and then slams it home. Oh, what hasn't this man done? Been everywhere, both ends of the floor. Odish just showed the offensive package today.
Static 3-point shot, back guy in with Campbell. And now a chance for the out-and-out largest lead off the back of that miss. That's what it can cost you.
So no free throws for Mendel, but they get it inside and going in for the rim rocker.
Just uses his pace. Atencia has it. Now they've got to make a decision. Great pass. Oh, Enrique puts an exclamation mark on the game. Throws it down.
Only lead by 4 now, and here comes a steal from Mejia. He came in from the blind side. Now they give it back. Now they get the flush. Good ball movement there. And the punch by Soriano. Solano will tell everyone, let's slow it down. The United States was able to get back there on defense. Swatted again by Wiseman, his 3rd block of the game. Roddy the other way, lobs it up. Wiseman the alley-oop finish. A 1-2 punch by the United States.
Says, give it to me. I'll go tax to close out. Kudo inside. Fills it up.
Let's check out our top scorers of this game so far, starting with Uruguay, and they are led by Rodriguez, who's got 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. In 15 minutes of play, it's the captain for Uruguay so far. 1 of 2, actually, to have 11 points, alongside Emiliano Ceres as well, who's also got 11. But Rodriguez has had a complete all-around game so far. 3 rebounds for him, 1 assist. He's been doing it all, shimmying, scurrying, and getting to the bucket. Rodriguez so far 4 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 2. And has hit a 3 as well, and has cashed in on both of his free throws. And on the other side for Cuba, it's been the big man going to work. It's been a lot of fun watching Bombino do his thing. He's 5 for 8 from the field, 5 for 7 from 2-point range, and has made 2 out of his 3 free throws. Also, he's got 6 rebounds so far, and an assist and a steal to go along with all that. Bombino, 12 points, the highest efficiency so far in this entire game. He's at 14 right now with his efficiency, and you can see why. He's now been in double figures scoring in all 4 of the games here in the qualifiers in the first round for the FIBA World Cup. He's got to push 15 plus points in a second here, which is his average so far in these qualifiers. Bombino also shooting 60% from 2-point range. Chacon, excuse me, has been the big add-on as well for them. His craftiness up top definitely compliment Reynaldo Garcia a lot as well. Garcia with those 5 points, Chacon with 7. He's tied as the 2nd leading scorer behind Marlon Diaz. Chacon has made 2 two-pointers, and all 3 of the free throws that he has taken. As we take a look at Bombino's stats here, that 1 steal and 6 rebounds with 12 points on a double-double watch here going into the second half. As a team, Cuba led by Bombino in points, Chacon in assists, and Bombino in rebounds. Currently are out-rebounding Uruguay by 4, 22-18. But interestingly enough for Uruguay, though, they've just had a couple more second chance opportunities. 9-0 boards that have led to 8 second chance points. And on the other side, Joaquin Rodriguez, the captain and leading scorer for Uruguay, along with Emiliano Ceres, who's got 11 points. Rodriguez, at just 26 years old, has played now in 4 games here for the FIBA World Cup America's qualifiers. Uruguay as a team with 5 steals there in that first half. 14 points off of the 11 turnovers for Cuba. They've already turned it over 11 times, and you got to think if they kept it a little more clean in that first half, this 1-point game might seem a little bit different. And also one thing we mentioned back in the first half was the bench points. Cuba only has 5 bench points in this ball game. Uruguay with 11. So Cuba needs a little bit more of a scoring punch out of their reserves. That second quarter also wasn't as clean. We definitely saw a little bit of a tussle there between Garcia there on your screen and Rodriguez. They were both going for the ball at one point in time and did have to be separated. Technical fouls were called on both sides, and both of these teams did get into the bonus with about 6 minutes and some change in that second quarter. So they had that entire second quarter pretty much in the bonus. And yet both of these teams have only shot 8 free throws. So defenses have been playing, well, relatively clean, even if you are in the bonus for situations like that. But you pretty much got there in the last quarter because of unsportsmanlike penalties. Coach Onel Planes on your screen there just took over as the head coach for this window with nearly 30 years of experience across men's and women's basketball, including youth national teams and multiple medals in Cuba's Liga Superior. And like I said, he's internally trying to change the face of the program in tournaments both at home and abroad. So doing his best with Cuba to really lead this culture change. And for Uruguay under Gerardo Jauregui, their head coach, who at one point in time played for the national team way back in the day, was reappointed as the head coach back in 2023 after being the head coach of the national team from 2008 to 2012. Scan the QR code at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen to get the World Cup Qualifiers app. The 2027 FIBA World Cup in Qatar. And the roadmap to it are in the app. Download it on the App Store or in Google Play. Getting ready for the second half of play here. Cuba 0-3 so far. They're 0-2 at home, 0-1 away. They will go on the road for their final window of this first round for Group D. And with Argentina beating Panama, Uruguay has now qualified for the second round. So Argentina and Uruguay both qualifying for the second round. Cuba needs to win here to stay alive. So here we go. Second half of play is underway now. Uruguay now going left to right on your screen, and that one, a fancy finish by Rodriguez to get the scoring going. Ceres, Rodriguez, Vescovi, Iglesias, the starters in for Uruguay in this second half, along with Martin Rojas, who's getting a start. Bianchi not in there. Bianchi, the first to score in this ball game, and then holding his hand after he scored that one. So a little bit of a different lineup here for Uruguay. Here's Rojas now, back all the way up top. They kick it to the left side, a pump fake. Now they run it all the way back out. Three, and it bounces off the backside of the rim, and Bombino says, give me it here on the rebound. For Cuba, it's Garcia, Chacon, and Bombino, the three starters, and that one will fall in for Chacon. And interestingly enough, Villegas and Castel getting the start here in the second half. Wide open layup, easy one for Uruguay. And Martin Rojas with the two-point bucket. He's now got 6 points in this ball game. Chacon had that one tapped around. Iglesias giving him a tough time on the defensive end, and Cuba turns it over. 3-on-2 here in transition. Rodriguez loading it up. And an easy putback by Rojas. They had no answer for him down low on both of his last possessions with the rock underneath the basket. Big difference in the game there. 10 second chance points. Twice as many for Uruguay as Cuba. A long one from Garcia. The captain for Cuba. He's now got 8 points in this ball game. Ball's knocked loose. Chacon's got it, and he's going back the other way. Garcia slowing it down. He'll take his time. Garcia looking for a lane. Crafty with his dribble. Down the right lane line. Fouled! As he holds the left side of his head. First team foul on Uruguay here in the second half. And Cuba with a chance to tie this one up at 43.
A la línea de los tiros libres por Cuba, con el número 1, su capitán, Reinaldo García.
First shot will fall there for Garcia. Garcia has played all over the place. Ecuador, now plays for the Saga Ballooners in Japan. And he's now in double figures in all 3 games that he's played in for Cuba here in the World Cup America's Qualifiers. Rodriguez lining it up in the left corner. Yes, sir! Joaquin Rodriguez has been their sharpshooter, and he's not afraid to let it go. 13 in the ball game. This one near side, off the mark. Rebound by Iglesias. Uruguay going with some size here at the start of the second half. Rojas had nowhere to go as time was expiring. The throw ahead, Chacon going down the lane, comes up. Just a little bit short there. Rojas tapping it around, and it's going back the other way. Foul going against Uruguay there. Cuba trailing by 3. Has not led in this ball game, has tied it up once. So you see here on the rebound, Rojas tried to get it to his own guy and unable to do so. Vescovi is in there, and now this one goes all the way up top. Now they'll dribble this one in, and it was lost. Far side, Vescovi. Up top, Rodriguez almost had it cut off by Chacon. Now Rodriguez gives it to the left. Vescovi, lefty, sniper. Uruguay back up by 6. Cuba needs a timeout as we are over 4 minutes into this second half. Cuba needs that timeout. We'll listen into the huddle as Uruguay has taken the lead by 6.
Lo primero es que nos estamos perdiendo en defensa. Estamos perdiendo en defensa, todo el mundo para un lado, para allá. Organizan en defensa, ese es uno. Y lo otro, tenemos que hablar en defensa, caballero. Si hay cambio, cambio, cambio. Salgo, te ayudo. ¿Entendido? Mira. Mira.
It's been all Rodriguez here in this second half. Uruguay outscoring Cuba 12-7. Joaquin Rodriguez with 16 points so far in this ball game. So it's been interesting though. Cuba keeping this one close.
5 minutos con 56 segundos. Resta este tercer cuarto, balón favorable para Cuba.
Six-point game as play resumes with under 6 minutes to go. Now in this third quarter, Bombino with the give-off. Chacon fires. Threes really haven't been falling for either side. Cuba shooting 33% from 3. Uruguay 23% in this game. They're 5 for 22 from 3. This one almost mishandled. And we might get a challenge here by Uruguay. Cuba challenged earlier, lost it. And it looks like this one will be overturned. And it did look like there it went out last, yes, off of Castel. Six-point game. Up top, Rodriguez taking his time, guarded by Garcia, picks up his dribble. Now gets it into Rojas. Rojas behind the back. Caught by Vescovi, knocked out of bounds. Good defense out on the right wing by Chacon. He's been playing them tough so far. Ceres, Rodriguez, Vescovi, Iglesias, and Rojas in for Uruguay, and for Cuba, it's Garcia, Chacon, Villegas, Castel, and Bombino. Vescovi missed everything as time was expiring on the shot clock. Kudos to Cuba for making every defensive possession on Uruguay extremely difficult. Crazy dribble around the traffic there by Castel, and he lost it. Now Rodriguez in transition. Rodriguez down the left side, moving bodies, had it blocked. Ball is loose. Bodies are flying around. Chacon got it. And now they'll give it up to Bombino. Bombino backing in, had it batted away. It was touched, so it's not a backcourt violation. Here's Garcia. Tried to come to a stop and hit it off of his own foot. Rodriguez near side. Rojas. Couple sloppy possessions there by both of these teams. And that feed inside will be a foul on the floor. This is Cuba's first foul of this third quarter. Both of these sides have been playing a lot more clean here in the third. Again, we did get into the bonus for both teams with 6 minutes and some change in that second quarter. Just 3 team fouls here in the third. Chacon picks up his third. Rodriguez up top, thought about it. Catch and shoot, left wing. Chacon. Surveying. Working time down here. Chacon steps back, 3. Left it a little bit short. Vescovi the rebound. He's going to give this one ahead. Rodriguez lobs it up, and the finish by Cerez. Garcia, a little bit of a fancy dribble inside. Now Diaz lining it up. Other way. Shot missed there by Uruguay. Garcia's got it going back the other way. Bombino tangled up in a frenzy. Uruguay up by 8 points. This is their biggest lead of the ball game. Clearly does not like what happened underneath the basket on the other side. Cerez now getting up as Bombino was wrapped up. Waiting for our officials to make a call as they get together here. Remember, we did need players separated back in that second quarter. This game has been physical. These teams haven't played each other in a preliminary round of anything since 1999, July 14th of that year, the FIBA Americas Championship for men. Uruguay narrowly beat Cuba 87-84 in that contest. Uruguay has won 3 of the 7 documented meetings, and we'll see Garcia here as Cerez took a shot at the end of that. And then Bombino going in transition, wrapped up right there. That's the obvious foul, clearly, by Rojas, as Cerez was still down on the hardwood. This is a way better look for us. And it seemed like Garcia at the end there threw it and then made contact to the face of Cerez. By the way, great job by our officials tonight. They've gotten through these official reviews mighty quick to keep the game going. So we have nothing on the side when Garcia was passing it. It was ruled incidental contact. And the play resumes from the side in front of us here on the near side. It's an 8-point game. Uruguay with their 3rd team foul, but their biggest lead of the game. Bombino looking to take it inside and had it knocked away by Rodriguez. But he was the one who sent it out of bounds. Cuba has 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Garcia from the top. Gets the screen from Diaz. Garcia, 4 seconds to shoot it. Pulls up from the right wing. Got it from the elbow. Garcia has 12 points in this ball game. Vescovi picks up his dribble. Near side Serres. Vescovi barred by Garcia now. Ball goes to the right side. Rojas with the drive underneath, spinning into the traffic, left it short. And miraculously, Cuba can keep the ball in bounds. Chacon. Bombino. Cleanup on aisle 26. Bombino with 14 points. Vescovi, a long dribble on the near side. Now, here's Rodriguez. And a foul coming away from the ball. That's going to be on Ibrahim Hechavarria. Hechavarria with his third personal foul. Him and Marlon Diaz and Chacon all have 3 personals. So Hechavarria will check out. Rodriguez inbounding to Vescovi. Now they give it back to Rodriguez. It was tapped up in the air, and the steal coming from Cuba. Garcia through a lot of traffic on the right side. Chacon now giving it to Bombino, guarded by Bianchi. Bombino backing in, underneath. We're going back the other way. Tried to share it there with Ferran. And it just maybe was a little too much for him to handle. It's a 4-point game, a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. Rodriguez, left side, sets his feet. It's stolen away. The lefty, Cash! Santiago Vescovi with 8 points now in the ball game. Right wing, Chacon wanted one right back, couldn't get it to fall. Final minute to go here in the third quarter. Vescovi passed up on that one. Now they give it right back to him. 2 for 2 from deep. Here in the last minute of this ball game. Vescovi gives Uruguay a 10-point lead. Cuba needs a timeout. Uruguay with their biggest lead of this ball game. And we'll listen into the Cuba huddle.
Así no se puede ganar, hermano mío. Yo le pido encarecidamente, ¿cuántas veces le voy a decir que cuando jugamos parados tenemos que jugar con un sistema organizado? Estamos abusando del juego del 1 contra 1 y nos están cayendo a contraataque. Y los errores. ¿Cómo hacemos? Yo quiero que ustedes me digan, que me expliquen. Se lo he repetido más de 40 veces. Y quiten la cara a eso, que el juego no se ha acabado. El partido no se ha acabado, hay que seguir peleando.
Vescovi has been the sharpshooter so far, has 11 points, has now scored in double figures in 3 of his last 4 games. He's also got 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Coming off a game where he only had 4 points and 2 rebounds. He's having a great game so far. Uruguay with their biggest lead of the game at 10 points. And we're into the final 50 seconds of this third quarter. Zuniga. Bianchi gets called for the personal foul there. That is just his first of this ball game. They had 1 foul to give. Zuniga back up top, Bombino, and now Garcia gets the screen from Bombino, excuse me. Zuniga driving, pump fakes, gives it off to Bombino. 1 second to go, and Bombino gets called for the travel before he could even get the shot off. 9/10 of a second here at the end of the third quarter between the shot clock and the game clock. So they're going to work this clock down as much as possible. Vescovi up top. Started way out beyond the arc. Vescovi using a screen. Left side. And that one will go in. A nice take inside there by Suarez to end that third quarter. Cuba got outscored in the quarter by 11 points. And now they trail by 12. Uruguay put up 22 points in that third quarter. Their second time putting up 20-plus points in a quarter in this ball game. Put up 20 back in the first. So we check out some of the numbers here in this ball game. They're pretty much shooting the same from 3-point distance, just Uruguay happened to make a couple of them there at the end of the quarter. And everything else has been pretty similar for both of these sides. Have to say that the turnovers have come back to really haunt Cuba. They've had 19 turnovers so far in this ball game. Looking at our plays from the third quarter here, Chacon for Cuba has 9 points and 5 rebounds and 4 assists for them. But on the other side, it's been the inside attack for Uruguay. They're shooting 59% on their 2-point shots here in this one. The threes did start falling for them, but they're only shooting 26% from 3. Have only made 7 of them in the ball game so far. But we're able to get 2 of those 7 there at the end of the quarter. And they've been sharing the rock really well too. 15 assists on 23 made buckets for Uruguay in this ball game. And they've stolen the ball from Cuba 10 times as well. And 24 points off of turnovers. They've been converting when Cuba has been messing up and not taking care of the ball. 19 turnovers for Cuba. 24 points off of those turnovers. Uruguay has done a great job of making sure they score on those turnovers. 32 of Uruguay's 59 points have come in the paint this game. They now currently have their biggest lead. Cuba has not led by any margin in this ball game. The courtside 1891 QR code is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Scan it for more. Final 10 minutes of regulation here. What does Cuba have left in the tank? They outscored Uruguay in the second quarter, 19-17 to bring this game within 1 point at the half. Bombino on the midi off the mark. Haven't seen him take too many of those. Suarez, pass back out. Now Vescovi from the outside. Will get the screen. Now on the left side, Suarez looking to attack. Suarez gets through the traffic for 2. Chacon now back to the outside. Diaz, Bombino in there. Zuniga. Vescovi, full head of steam and ran into a triple team. Zuniga going back the other way, and he took an extra step. Another turnover. That's 20 in the ball game for Cuba. Cuba with their biggest deficit right now of 14 points. 9 minutes to go in regulation. Time is winding down for the home team. From the outside, here's Pomoli. Takes his time, waits for that screen to come. Back up top, Vescovi. Left side, Soares, catch and shoot. He's knocked down! 27 points off of the turnovers for Uruguay. That's a great conversion rate on those 20 turnovers. Bombino choosing to take a couple of shots from the outside there. An attack inside. That one lost, and it goes out of bounds. Bianchi unable to get that one or a call. It's Pomoli, Ceres, Vescovi, Bianchi, and Taboada finally back in there for Uruguay as Vescovi picks up the foul. It's his third personal. Zuniga, Chacon, Bombino, Diaz, and Hechevarria in there for Cuba. Chacon pulls up. Hasn't really been able to get that midi to fall here in the second half. From the right side, a load up, Taboada. Another turnover by Cuba. 22 in this ball game, as Chacon couldn't get to it. So Reynaldo Garcia will check back in for Cuba. Near side, Soares. Garcia immediately comes in. His presence is felt, gets the rebound there, and then fouled going back the other way in transition. Facundo Terra picks up his first personal. It's a 14-point game. Excuse me, 17-point game. Uruguay just keeps extending their lead. Hechevarria on the inbound. Now they give it into Garcia, tangled up with Terra. And obviously we're gonna have a little bit of a talking to between both of these sides. And we have a technical called now. This one will be on Bianchi. That'll be Bianchi's second personal, as Uruguay picks up their third team foul. You see Garcia trying to box out down low. Gets Terra off of him. And clearly Bianchi coming to his teammate's defense. Got the technical called on him. 7.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. As Garcia misses off the backside of the rim there. An 83% free throw shooter. Not characteristic for him. Looks like Cuba is now in the bonus for the remainder of this ball game. From the near side, that three will find the bottom of the net. Hechevarria gets his first shot of the game to fall. Had made a field goal before that. Inside, Pomoli mishandled in the left corner by Rodriguez. So this is the part of the game that definitely is felt in the second half a little more clunky. A little bit of stoppage of action, free throws, and fouls. Clearly that has definitely favored Uruguay. They've led by as much as 17 in this ball game. Cuba hasn't really been able to find a rhythm, especially with all the turnovers. 21 in the ball game. Zuniga left that one short. Rodriguez grabbed the board. He's pushing it up on the far side. Back to Sorez, right corner. Pomoli steps through. Sorez spinning in underneath and floats it up and in with a whistle as well. Sorez now at 22 points. That is his World Cup qualifier season high. As he misses off to the right side, and it's tracked down by Terra. Another opportunity here for Uruguay. Sorez getting downhill, and in continuation, another and one attempt. Sorez taking it to the hole on back-to-back possessions and gets the same outcome, another and one opportunity for the 28-year-old. Smart play there by Sorez. If they're going to call it, you might as well keep doing it. And especially if Cuba's playing you physical. This time, converts on the three-point play. Sorez has played also in the Basketball Champions League, so no stranger to FIBA competition whatsoever. Played in Argentina and now also for Peñarol in Uruguay. That floater just misses by Diaz. Pomoli gets the screen from Rojas. Now back up top. Sorez. Here's Terra. Foul on the floor against Cuba, their third team foul. That one missed everything. Happens sometimes. Five and a half to go in the fourth quarter. Terra inbounding, finds Sorez, and the cleanup crew is Martín Rojas. Uruguay, their biggest lead of this game. That one's a splash! Ibrahim Hechevarria now with 6 points in the ball game. Both of his field goals have come in the fourth quarter. $18-point lead for Uruguay. They whip this around inside. That one rejected. Terra slowing it down. Rodriguez looking to get this one back down low. Pomoli going baseline. And Rojas again with the finish. Hechevarria letting it go. Big boy Sorez with the rebound. So this part of the game going a lot slower. They'll toe the line left side. It's short. Rebound there by Rojas. They've been living inside out here in this second half. Rodriguez flips it left. Sorez down the line. Tapped away by Hechevarria. Another turnover, number 23 of the game for Cuba. Rodriguez. Oh, yeah! A 23-point lead for Uruguay. Things are coming apart for Cuba here. And we'll check out the game recap so far. Cuba used their challenge early back in the first half and do not have one left. One more foul to give here in this quarter. But they've turned the ball over probably one too many times in this ball game. 20+ turnovers so far. And Uruguay has been making use of those turnovers. They've got 30 of them. Rodriguez, 19 points now in the ball game. Terra picks up his first assist. Rodriguez, the captain, second most points on this team with 19. He's had 20 or more points in 2 of his last 3 games. He's 1 point away from that here in this one. Has easily scored in double figures in all of the games he's played in. Now 4 of them in the World Cup America's qualifiers. 4 minutes left to go in regulation and counting. It's a 23-point game. Hechevarria down the left side. Tried to put it up, missed everything. That one almost hit the ceiling. It was a high floater, and Cuba steals it right back. Near side Sanchez. Now it's Zuniga. Guarded by Rodriguez. Zuniga to the right side. Pump fakes. Goes back up with the left. And it's off the mark. Sanchez trying to fight for that rebound. And Uruguay comes down with it, and now it's all about controlling the clock. And I think they know that. Terra, near side. They give it back up top to Rodriguez, and their captain clearly knows what they're dealing with here. They've already qualified for the second round. As that one finds the bottom of the well. Vescovi hitting another 3-pointer in this ball game. The reverse left a little bit short. And now Vescovi on the other side. Rodriguez behind the back pass. It's in the corner. And things really became discombobulated here in the fourth quarter. Cuba has only put up 6 points. Now make it 8 in this quarter, and they've allowed Uruguay to score 20. Underneath, Rojas putting that one through. So Cuba 0 for 3 right now, staring 0 for 4 in the qualifying window in the face. Uruguay has already qualified. Argentina has already qualified. Argentina does have those 2 wins though, so they could still qualify as an at-large team. That one is a deep boy. Uruguay just showing off now. Rojas connecting from distance. And Uruguay really poured it on here in the fourth quarter. A 29-point lead, the biggest lead of the game for the away team in white. And for Cuba, it's all about changing the narrative, changing their philosophy. And clearly through 3 quarters, it was pretty close. At the half, it was just a 1-point game as we have a foul on the far side. Cuba is in the bonus. So they'll get to shoot 2 with 1:27 left. But it comes with time to change everything that, you know, you've been going through in the past. And that's what they brought in their new head coach, Onel Planis, to do. He emphasized raising Cuba's competitiveness internationally and changing the face of the program. And through 3 quarters, one could argue that they did that here tonight. Just that 4th quarter really got away from them. And on the other side, Uruguay is going to probably close this one out at 4-0 and be the #1 team in Group D going into the 2nd round. But we do have one more round here at the very least for Uruguay, and one more window for both of these teams. Cuba, for their final 2 games of this World Cup America's qualifiers for 2027, is going to go on the road. They're going to play July 2nd at Panama and then July 5th at Uruguay. So Uruguay will get Cuba at home, and they get to play each other one more time. Cool to see these 2 teams go against each other for the first time in seems like decades. As Terra gets his 2nd shot of the game to go. He's got 5 points. 52 seconds left. Hechevarria, the fadeaway. Uruguay actually does have the advantage. They're going to get to finish at home. They got Argentina, which that's the one everyone has circled at home, as Hechevarria puts that one in on the near side. And 1.5 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. So Uruguay gets Argentina and then Cuba one more time, July 2nd and 5th respectively. Some sloppy basketball here at the end and a blocking foul on Cuba as Uruguay was going the other way. But Argentina and Uruguay, that's the game for Group D that everyone has circled, because you do want to finish as high as you can for better seeding going into the 2nd round. Argentina was picked to finish on top of Group D. Meanwhile, Uruguay is about to be 4-0. First free throw is in there for Nicolas Martinez, the 22-year-old. That's his first point. And now he's got 2. Did get to play 6 minutes in their last contest against Argentina right at the end. And now the drive down the right side, and that one will get the fall in. Aldo Castel rim running there. And a chance to convert on the 3-point play at the end of this ball game. As he converts on that 3-point play. And he's averaging right around that 3 points per game. Right at the end here, Martinez, the final shot, off the mark. Big win there for Uruguay. Ranked number 43 in the world. Cuba number 69, a top 70 team, but Uruguay handled them in that 4th quarter there. They put up almost 30 points in that 4th quarter, 29 points compared to Cuba's 15. Took Cuba up until about 4 minutes in that 4th quarter to score into double figures. But through 3 quarters of action, this Cuba team looked different, and Coach Planis for Cuba is well on his way to changing the culture for this team, and Uruguay gets to celebrate at midcourt. They are now 4-0 and on top of Group D. They have sole possession of first place in Group D. Our final score, 88-62. And you can see some of the final numbers here. An impressive victory for Uruguay all the way around. They didn't maybe shoot the 3-ball as well as they would have liked, but their inside-out game was almost perfect. 61% from in there. They out-rebounded. And the assists, the way that they were able to move the ball around, assisted on 22 of 34 buckets made. Uruguay also had 4 players score in double figures. Cuba with 2. Bombino led the charge for them with 14. Take a look at the standings now for Group D. Uruguay on top. They have qualified for the second round. Argentina has qualified at well. It's going to come down to Panama, and if they can win one of their next couple of games, but Cuba, all about changing the culture at this point in time. Our final scores from game day number 4 for Group D looks like this. Uruguay is on top of this group after 4 games in the qualifiers, and of course these two teams are going to get to play each other again in July. For our final time in this window, let's look at our best plays from the 4th quarter, and it was a lot of Uruguay. Rodriguez was the one who really caught fire in the 4th there. 19 points for the captain of this team, but Suarez able to get a couple shots to fall as well, leading this game with 25 points and 3 rebounds. Vescovi actually finished with a double-double. The 24-year-old guard at just 188 centimeters had 11 points and 11 rebounds for Uruguay. Suarez benefited a lot from how much attention Vescovi was drawing out beyond the arc as well, and he was not afraid, as well as Rojas, to get in there and get dirty. Echeverria for Cuba on the other side ended up with 8 points, most of them coming in the 4th quarter there. But it wasn't enough. Garcia with 12 for Cuba and 7 rebounds, 2 assists. And Bombino led the charge for Cuba with 14 points, 9 rebounds, was 1 rebound away from a double-double, but he's now at 7 or more rebounds in 4 straight games. The threes started coming down at the end of that 4th quarter for Uruguay. They shot 29% from 3, but made 11 in the ball game. They attempted 38 threes. They attempted the same amount of 2s as they did on 3s. So a great job by Uruguay in this ball game, completely taking the wheels off of Cuba in that 4th quarter. It was a 1-point game at the half. Uruguay ended up how they started this qualifiers, with domination. Well, that was a lot of fun, but we do have to get going. You know, there's so many people that help bring you these games, and we want to thank all of them for all of their hard work, for all of the games around all of the qualifiers around the entire world. This is the final game of the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup 2027 qualifiers in total. So, from Panama City, we say so long, where Uruguay wins 88-62. And to watch all these games on replay, check out the Courtside 1891 app. We'll see ya in the next window.